My name is Julien Pascal, and we're doing an interview for Town of series. So my character, François Polignac, is a guy from Paris. He's rather powerful. I think he likes beautiful things and beautiful women. And he's the boss of the main auction house of Paris. He's very well-mannered, very French from high society. He has a rock and roll side too, I guess. And he's very in control of himself most of the time. I didn't really pick my character from other actors or other characters. I just prepared imagining who would be this guy. But since he's a kid, which part of Paris did he grew in? How were his parents? How was his mother? How was his father? How were his friends? Who were his friends? To me, he's a guy coming from Versailles, bourgeois environment. Maybe his dad was the owner of the auction house, and my character had to take it, even though he would have liked to do a more artistical career or something like that. Because I think he was friend by the time with the guys who did Daft Punk afterwards, or Phoenix, or these guys who come from that area of Paris and who are about the same age. So I think these guys were his friends. They went to the same school. So my character was also doing music, and at some point he had to choose between the family business or the artistic career. When I prepare a character, I really like to do like the profiler job, which is to imagine how is this person not only now but in the past, and try to, it just gives some tools to give interpretation, to give life to a character, because you kind of search all of his spaces, layers, qualities, defaults, frustrations, stuff like that. It's also to answer to questions like, oh, how would my character react in such a situation, for example? So that gives clues to find how he would react and how it would be truthful. There was a bit of oppression at the beginning, but mostly coming from my friends or family who were saying, oh my God, do you imagine? It's huge, La Casa de Papel. Yeah, so it was a little bit impressive at the beginning, but then I really tried to do it like anything else. I mean, once you're on set and shooting, you don't think, oh my God, it's for a big project. It's like, I'm just gonna try to do my best during the action and cut. Trust the whole team, trust the director, trust the other actors, and just have fun together. And also the people out there, the production company, Vancouver Media, and the other actors, Pedro Alonso, Michel Jenner, Samantha Sigalotto, Tristan Uloa, all of them, they were so welcoming and so kind from the beginning. Like the first day I arrived there, I was a bit, oh my God. I'm where they shot the Casa de Papel. It's the people who shot it. It's some of the actors. Ooh, it's impressive. But Pedro Alonso just came to my little room, lodge, un camerino in Spanish, and he just, hola, hi, just gave me a big hug. Welcome to the family. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have nice scenes together. You happy to be here? You want some cake? I don't know, just super easy, casual, welcoming, nice. And it's been like that for the months of shooting. Even the production people, they were calling like, hey, you're coming back to Madrid next week. We're looking forward to see you. Happy to see you again. And very, very welcoming, very human and warm. So I think that whole part just made the pressure disappear. The pressure is more now, actually, because now job is done for us. Yeah, it's to see how the audience will like it, or watch it and feel it. But that's out in the universe. three words: love, elegance, and fire. On different levels, fire, because there is also this very Latin love, which is very fire. Stylistically, it's quite different. The general mood is more romantic, a bit more comedy than the Casa de Papel. The way it's written, the way it's filmed, the colors, the artistic choices, how the actors play. The style is quite different. I think they wanted to do something very, very different from La Casa de Papel. There is no need to see La Casa de Papel to see Berlin. Related, but it's very different at the same time. It's related because there's the story of one of the characters, Berlin, from La Casa de Papel, in another period of his life. So that's the same production company, the same writers, but stylistically it's very different. Well, I have to admit that Berlin was my favorite because since I'm a kid, I like the mean guys, the bad guys in the movies. I don't know why. I think it's because bad guys usually have a lot of different layers again, because they were not born bad. Something has to happen in their life for them to become what they become. So I think it's very interesting to learn, to try to understand how these people become bad guys, you know. So Berlin and see, Professor. No, it's interesting because it gives tracks to write, because there are things that we've seen in La Casa de Papel that are facts. So in a way, it gives you a limitation because you have to respect that. But at the same time, I think you can give contrast to it. If something happens in the past, maybe his character was not exactly the same because he hadn't gone through things in between. I don't really think it's an obstacle. I think, at the contrary, I think it's something that helps because you already have a track and some elements that you have to build around. The most difficult for me was the very first one I shot with Berlin, with Pedro Alonso, because it was my very first spoken scene. I had shot a few days, but mainly actions, you know, just my character going out of his house, grabbing a taxi, you know, stuff like that. But my very first scene with dialogue was with the protagonist, so with Pedro Alonso, Berlin, in a very nice place out of the studio with many silhouettes. So yeah, that day I was a little bit impressed because it's my first spoken scene and it's directly with Berlin. So I was a bit nervous at the beginning of the day, but Pedro Alonso, he has a way to put a really good vibe on set that makes everybody calm, so that the fear and the stress just disappeared when he started shooting, because it's so nice to work with him. But yeah, in the morning I was a little bit scared. There was a few ones actually, but yeah, there was one moment we were shooting another scene with Berlin and another actress, and through the initiative of Pedro, once again, we just did a little session of meditation like the minute before we started shooting, you know, because on set there is a lot of people, there is a lot of noise, people coming around you, blah 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 blah. While it's happening, you're trying to concentrate, to be like in your character and forget the noise and everything. And then Pedro had that little ritual of asking for silence, or the director would ask for silence when we were ready to shoot. And we had like 1 minute, just the actors to shut our eyes, even touch our hands, whatever, and just do like just a small moment of meditation, just to be calm, forget that you're on set, and then the director would come and say, "Action." Then you go. So that was the first time it happened. It was very, very fun. I just hope you like it as much as we liked making it, because it was a lot of fun and a real adventure for all of us. And yeah, I hope you'd like it.